My lords, I too am grateful to the very reverend prelate, the Archbishop of Canterbury, for initiating this important debate. And it's a pleasure to follow the noble Lord Wallace, and build on some of the things that he has just said. In the last few years of the 20th century, I was part of the Lambeth group, representatives of different religions that met at Lambeth Palace to plan celebrations for the new millennium and the layout of the faith zone in the Millennium Dome. We were conscious of the fact that in the 20th century, more people had died in war and conflict than in the rest of recorded history. And we reflected on hopes for a better future. I was asked to head a small group to draw up a list of values for peace and justice in the 21st century. As a start, I put forward a list based on the teachings of the Sikh gurus, and the commonalities between different faiths became very evident as the list was virtually agreed as it was. It was prominently displayed in the faith zone of the Millennium Dome and talked about in various conferences. And then it was filed away in the archives of Lambeth Palace and the repositories of other faiths. Now, fast forward a few years, another meeting at Lambeth Palace, in the very same room we used to meet, a charismatic preacher from America saying, "What we need are values." There's plenty of values about, plenty of guidance in our different religious books. And for most of our faiths, it can be put on one sheet of A4. The problem is that stating those teachings, stating the values, is relatively easy. It is extremely difficult to live by them. So we humans find surrogates and alternatives for true and difficult commitments like rituals and penances and pilgrimages. Such actions give a sense of satisfaction and spirituality. But as Guru Nanak, the founder of the Sikh faith, observed, that in themselves they are not worth a grain of sesame seed. The Guru taught that it is living true to such values that really counts. The task then given to the 9 succeeding gurus was to live true to those teachings in very challenging social and political times, and it wasn't easy. One of the values that we call British values is tolerance and respect for others. Guru Arjan, the 5th Guru, showed this respect by inviting a Muslim saint, Miamir, to lay the foundation stone of the Golden Temple. The temple was constructed with a door at each of its 4 sides to denote a welcome to all coming from any geographic or spiritual direction. Inside the temple or Gurdwara, and in all Gurdwaras today, a vegetarian meal called langar is served to all, without any distinction of caste or creed. When the Mughal Emperor Akbar visited the Guru, he too was asked to sit and eat with people of different social backgrounds. The Guru also added verses of Hindu and Muslim saints to our holy scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib, to show that no one faith had a monopoly of truth. But as I said, living true to such basic values is not easy. The Guru was arrested and tortured to death in the searing heat of an Indian June for daring to suggest that there was more than one way to God. Sikhs commemorate that martyrdom not by showing any sign of bitterness, but by serving cool, refreshing drinks to all near their homes or gurdwaras. Some years back, I decided to organize the serving of free drinks, cooling drinks in Hyde Park. The initial reaction of the Hyde Park authorities was not very encouraging. You can't do that sort of thing in a royal park, everyone will start doing it. Guru Arjan's successor Hargobind was imprisoned in Gwalior fort for his belief, along with 52 other princes. On the festival of Diwali, the Mughal emperor said, as a gesture of goodwill, that Guru Hargobind is free to leave. Now, he stunned the emperor, the Guru stunned the emperor by saying, I'm not going unless all the other 52 are also released. And so he was emphasizing the importance of individual liberty for all, another British value. In living true to exacting values, the ninth Guru gave his life defending the right of another religion to worship in the manner of its choice. We have Voltaire saying, I may not believe in what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. Mm-hmm. It was Guru Tegh Bahadur who years earlier had given that very noble sentiment practical utterance. The 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, emphasized the importance of democracy, another British value. The Sikh turban that we wear is supposed, like perhaps I should emphasize supposed, to remind us of the ideals by which we should live. The values I've spoken of and the values taught in Britain today are in fact universal values taught by different faiths, and I believe should be referred to as universal values. We urgently need to go beyond simply making lists or paying lip service to universal human values, and we need to incorporate them as the founders of our different faiths intended into how we live, move, and have our being. It's hypocritical to talk of a commitment to democracy and pally up to tyrants like the rulers of Saudi Arabia, or say, as our Trade Secretary said a couple of years ago, that we shouldn't mention human rights when we're talking trade with China. It's wrong that the weak and vulnerable in society should depend on charitable appeals for basic necessities when their needs should be a first charge on all of us. It's wrong to talk of respect for all and then use families settled here for generations as bargaining chips for Brexit. Britain has led the world in many ways. My hope is that we'll now lead in closing the gap in our long-suffering world between values we all accept and the lure of self-interest in both personal dealings and in the way we view the world.